Good morning, my beautiful imperfectionist family. What's good? It's your girl Tammy, aka That's a Woman, coming to you with this week's session of planting and or watering, where I'm either planting something new in your life or watering something that has already been planted. However way it hits your ear gate, you have heard it before or even seen it before, and I'm here to confirm, remind, give you a little bit of, maybe I need to ponder that thing a little further. And before I jump into this week's session, I want to share with you guys that officially the first and the third Wednesdays of the month, starting October 2nd, yours truly will have a platform. I will have guest speakers on that platform, and it could be you. And we're going to have what I'm going to call Real Talk with Tammy B, where we're going to have some conversations. In fact, they could even be conversations that are unorthodox, out of the familiar, but it don't matter. I want us to have those conversations that's going to have us, does this apply? Does this add value, or do I need to discard? Because there's a lot of things taking place around us that we really need to take notice of and really look at what value does this thing add to my life, or do I need to just go ahead and just shut it off? Because at the end of the day, power is given to those things you think about. Remember, I have repeatedly said thoughts become things. And the more you think on some things, and you could unknowingly be thinking of some things. That's why it's important for us to do what the scripture says when it says, take those thoughts into captivity that exalt itself against the knowledge of God, which the knowledge of God is the God is in you. God is in each and every one of us. So the things that are being put in the atmosphere, being advertised around us and circulating around us, what value are they really adding to our lives? So it's time for us to think on those things, to put those things into the proper perspective and get the mindset to not play in those energies. So again, starting to take place, to have those real conversations. If you want to be a part of those conversations via the platform, DM me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at That's a Woman, and we can have the conversation. And however, even if you're not a part of the platform directly, join the conversation. Let's have the talk. Let's ask the questions. Let's go deep, because that's where I feel the growth mindset that we need to have come into play. It comes into play with having those deep discussions. Sometimes you can get so uncomfortably deep, and let me tell you, it's okay to be uncomfortable. Right? We got to get to a place where, you know what, if this uncomfortable conversation is changing my life for the better, it's time to get uncomfortable, and it's okay. And before I go further, because I'm about to jump right in, I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge some losses that we've had. Like, we've had some great losses in the month of September. One being Rich Homie Quan. And we've had the loss of James Earl Jones, and we've had the loss of Tito Jackson, and we've had the loss of the great Frankie Beverly. I'm so honored. I finally got to see him in concert one time, which was his last time here in Atlanta a couple months back. And let me tell you, it was just a privilege just to be in the atmosphere. So to the those who have gone on, we say heaven has gained some more angels, and we send our condolences to the family and just offer this encouragement, knowing absent from the body is present with the Lord, and these are now more angels in heaven here to root us on, to cheer us on. Even some up and coming singers and things of that, and rappers and things like that, they're here to help encourage them along the way. Guys, let me tell you, transition to non-physical is a blessing, in not that we know it, but it becomes a blessing because we have more help. I'm always talking about the supernatural forces that are with us, that are here, that are angels, and that's what they are. But We gotta allow ourselves to grieve. We gotta allow ourselves to feel. And as I say that, I'm reminded of the movie Inside Out. Now, I don't have little kids. I'm an empty nester and don't have grandkids that I know of. I have male children, but that's my little running joke. However, I watched Inside Out after hearing about it, and it's talking about mental health, and it's talking about emotional health, and, you know, taking the young girl through her feelings, and how so many times in life her feelings are suppressed because she's doing just what I talked about last week, trying to keep her parents happy because she didn't want to acknowledge, oh, we've moved, you've taken me away from my friends, but I'm going to still be happy. Beloved, it's time for us to face our feelings. And I know I say it, and I know you're like, that is a hard thing to do. But let me tell you, it's only hard if you keep telling yourself that it's a hard thing to do. If you keep telling yourself, I can't do this, guess what? There's a quote. If you think you can or can't, either way you right. And it's time to tell yourself to get in touch with your feelings. These suppressed emotions that many are dealing with because they don't want to acknowledge how they feel is a big issue and the driving force of a lot of people's lives. That's why I said last week, even the suppressed emotion of being who you are because you're trying to live in accordance to the thoughts and patterns of others. It's okay to change the narrative. It's okay to be the authentic you. And here's the thing. After you suppress those emotions, they're going to show up. They're going to show up. You're going to show up because when you show up as bitter and angry and mean and hateful, as a matter of fact, I was in Chipotle yesterday and there was a couple in front of me, and the cashier, after they left, she said, they always come in here with a nasty attitude. And I was thinking of the couple. I was like, they were a beautiful couple. I was like, physically, they look good. And what I'm saying is that's what is the ongoing problem. People physically on the outside look good, but inside they're broken, they're hurting, they're dealing with struggles that they don't even know how to verbalize, don't even know how to identify. And then you have certain other emotions that come into play because as I think of Inside Out, you know, it talked about anxiety, it talked about fear. Fear will always tell you, oh, don't try to face this emotion, no, suppress it, because if you suppress it, you'll continue to be in a safe space. But here's the thing, if you're hurt, if you're broken, if you're bitter, you're not in a safe space. You're operating from a depressed state. You're operating from a lack of state, an unworthy state. And my goal is to get you from the happy, the prosperous, the abundant state that you are. That is your birthright. Abundance and happiness is your birthright. So I'm trying to get you to operate from that space. And in order to do that, you gotta acknowledge those suppressed emotions. You have to. And it's better to do sooner than later. And when we take the stance, this is who I am and that's who I am. You don't have to be that. Be better. You know, sometimes people will say to me, I want to be like you when I grow up. And my immediate clap back, my response, don't be like me, be better than me. And that's what I'm speaking into all your lives. Be better than me. Be better than you. Every day become better and better. Today is one day. Oh, I'm better today. Oops, tomorrow I'm better than I was yesterday. And I'm better and I'm better and I'm better. And then you know what? You'll find yourself saying, I'm getting better and better at being better. Because that's what you want. That's my desire for you, and I hope is your desire for yourself. So deal with those suppressed emotions. And then after you deal with them, insert joy, insert happiness. Let it go so that you can be happy. I've said it all the time. Happiness is a choice. And as I say happy and I think of my boy, Frankie Beverly, listen, happy feelings. He said, I got myself to remind me of love, Think about that. Happy feelings everywhere. Even 1 Thessalonians 5:16 say rejoice evermore. That's saying have those happy feelings, because when you have those happy feelings and when you have yourself, when you get you to the place where you can remind you of what love looks like, not what no one else thinks love look like, but what you think love looks like, let me tell you, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. In fact, you've taken your power back. Because, I was recently listening to an interview that Cam Newton did with Iyanla Van Zandt. And if you guys haven't heard it, I highly recommend. I thought that was a really powerful, gem-dropping things I kind of knew, but for some who don't know, this can be some planted information in your life. But Iyanla talked about some things that I thought were really of value. And I love how she kept referring to the Matrix, which, for those of you who don't know, the 25th year edition of the Matrix is getting ready to drop. And the interesting part, I've always said from when I first saw that movie back in 98, 99, that was my favorite movie. And let me tell you, life is like a matrix. A while back I talked about it being like a Hunger Game. And just for a minute, think about it. And I know y'all like, oh, I am not finna listen to this crazy woman speak. Listen. Beloved, I wouldn't tell you anything that I don't feel in my heart to be true. Now, here's the thing. It may not resonate with you, and that's perfectly okay. But life is like a matrix. We are in a system. We are in a design. And here's the thing. How are we going to operate in this system? The Matrix told us when Neo hung up the phone at the end, he said, I'm getting ready to show you a world these people don't want you to see. And when you look at that, when you think about that, we're in that world. And he even talked before he got to that eye-opening place, before his eyes was open, before he started believing in himself, which is ultimately what the Matrix was telling him and what I'm telling you. You gotta believe in yourself. And when he sat before Morpheus, Morpheus said, listen, bruh, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to give you a red pill and I'm going to give you a blue pill. Because, see, I know you the one. I see what's inside of you. You don't see it. You don't know it. Look, I'm talking to you. I see what's inside of you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a blue pill. And you can go back to sleep and act like none of this, go back, it don't exist, it never happened, this conversation never took place. Or I'm going to give you this red one and I'm going to show you who you are. And that's what Tammy is here to do. I'm here to show you who you are. You're powerful. I say it all the time. You are a powerful creator. You were put here with purpose. You were put here with destiny. And my desire is that you don't continue to live beneath it. Rise higher as the phoenix rise out the ashes. That's what I want for you. So when you think of that, when you look at that, and he talked about the control, and think about a lot of the controls that take place in the media, in the news, in the political realm, all the distractions to keep you from you. As a matter of fact, I do it all the time because I like to make sure I'm abreast. I went back and watched The Secret. I think this is probably my second or third time this year. And I saw a section where it's like, it talked about the people who had the power, that knew the power of the secret. They, of course, wanted to keep it to themselves, but you got people like me that's telling you about the power. And then it showed where, how it was set up in this matrix, that if people just stay busy with work, if they stay just doing their mediocre jobs, they miss who they are. And I'm not calling anyone's job mediocre. I'm just saying pretty much what they were saying in the movie. And what it's saying is people miss who they are. So the secret, the matrix, was designed to keep you from who you are. Catch that. So it's important to do the evaluation. It's important to say, okay, am I operating in a space that's serving me? Even sometimes around in certain environments, you got to make sure there's value add in those environments. Because don't get mad at me, because I'm learning in the football space. I don't think there's a lot of value add there, because the energy that continues to cultivate in that space, and egos deflating, inflating, and no real value. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's entertaining, but some people take it to heart. Like, I met a guy recently, when I said to him I was a Cowboy fan, he was like, I wouldn't even talk to you had I known you was a Cowboy fan. This was at the tailgate. And I'm sitting here like, now how mental is that? Because I'm a Cowboy fan, you're not going to have just a friendly, we were just having a friendly conversation. And because I said that, he was like, I wouldn't have even spoken to you. But I say that to say, look at the matrix. Look at the things that are going on around you and be aware, be mindful, and focus on you. Take time for you. The scripture said, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted. That's saying, be still, spend time with me so that I will exalt you into the powerful person that you are. And guess what? When you become that powerful person and walk into that power, once Neo walked into his power, once he really start believing in himself, he was able to fly. He was able to leap the buildings. And I'm not saying you're going to physically be able to fly, but what I am saying, you'll go on to do great things. So start speaking it, start decreeing it, start declaring it, start dealing with those suppressed emotions, get them out. Because one thing with suppressed emotions, they will show up, and they tend to show up at the wrong time. In fact, sometimes all it takes is something small to cause a tsunami to take place. So deal with that and get to your, what I was talking about, happy feelings. Hey, get to your happy feeling place. Okay, so going to bring this session to a close, and I just want to say thank you for spending time with me, listening to what I had to say. I know it was kind of shaky, but it's real, and we got to take the blinders off and just be open to things that we may not be aware of. Okay, so listen, if I said anything that adds value to your life, I invite you to click on the link, leave me a comment. I thank you for the text messages that I get behind the scene. I just thank you. And if there's someone who can benefit from this message, I invite you to share it with others. And if you're not part of my imperfectly perfect, aka imperfectionist family, see, there go my imperfectly moment, I invite you to click on the link on the subscribe button to join us. Okay, so listen, until the next time, I want you guys to be blessed. I want you to be powerful. I want you to acknowledge those suppressed emotions, give them a voice, and release them, and get into your happy feelings place. Okay, be blessed, be empowered, and have an amazing day.